Everyone, well, now that the 90-day mark has crossed for another one that came out earlier this year to hit Netflix, thought I'd get my first viewing thoughts on the animated film that I let several other people be the test subject for, and when I took a step back to watch my own terms, opposed to trying to be reactionary all the time, which to me sounds pretty exhausting, and was actually pleasantly surprised. So, here is a look at the latest animated film from Sony Picture Animation. They certainly come a long way after all these years. It may not be the greatest of all time, but it's still good, personally. So, let's open up the a Steph Curry produced and starring Goat. Let's begin. The a movie takes place in a world anthropomorphized animals where the most popular sport in the entire globe is rollerball, or a sort of mashup of basketball and mixed martial arts, so to speak, where any animal or, or, or of any kind can take part and defying his small stature and the actual odds being set against him, a young goat named Will Harris, voiced by Cameron McLaughlin on Stranger Things fame, AIM, AIM decides to become the newest player in his local team, the Thorns, and through overcoming not only the challenges of his stature, but also the doubt being placed upon him by the rest of the animal kingdom, start turning things around and even headed the rivalry of the main attraction, voiced by Aaron Pierre. Here. And admittedly, while the sports aspect may be a bit formulaic for my taste, and the parable for real relations may not be as effective as, say, it was in Zootopia films, it's still pretty entertaining in a movie that's certainly worth your time. Admittedly, the story may not take as many swings as, say, the Spider-Verse films. Looking forward to Beyond Spider-Verse next year, or even the recent award-winner K-pop Demon Hunters, for that matter. It is still a very engaging idea. Especially like how they incorporated the animal behaviors into a lot of their movements on the basketball court, or the rollerball court rather, and how the each arena is in a domed cage, how the one near the beginning, which they actually shared on YouTube, has the main attraction galloping around the court or to establish dominance, and how one of the characters, a jaguar named Jet, I see what you did there, voiced by Gabrielle Union, has overcome her own impulses and her own, own aging body in order to accept at will as part of the team. I actually he found her arc actually quite interesting, how it reflects the the rest of the league, where and also the rest of the cast put together is also pretty entertaining, including David Harbour, Jennifer Lewis, Patton Oswalt, Jennifer Hudson, even and Nick Kroll, who openly admitted not being a huge fan of, actually does a great job. Uh, as do other up and comers such as Sherry Cola, who also spoke very highly when I looked at one battle after another. And I can definitely say the strongest aspect is, of course, the animation, how it's very sharp, colorful, and once again, it builds upon the whole painted CG look and feel that we've been getting a lot more of lately. Like, even it definitely, in the 8 years since that first Spider-Verse came out, basically threw a lot of the competitors off their axis and were thus forced into adapt. and but I think it's also good to see other people put their own spin on the idea for very different reasons. And so, while I not put this one on the same pedestal as Sony's best animated works, it certainly is far from the worst, and people claiming otherwise, that's pretty absurd, I heard, I mean. And that's coming someone tries to keep that Nathan metric to the ones that got a wide release, theatrically released on a bigger platform, like Netflix, where doing all the DTV films, like, just open up a can of worms, personally. I'll say, like, something come a long way since that first open season, which I was not a huge fan of, personally. So I may have let other people who'll go to this one first when I was talking about how Jason when this movie came out, as I often do, and about Tomb Raider. I personally consider this to be a pretty solid movie. I'm just taking it easy this week before I work on getting tickets to Mandalorian Grogu, who but I definitely would have no objection to watching this movie again, or even showing it to a kid if they wanted to watch it. I mean, there are far worse ways to kill a whole 98 minutes. I can definitely tell you that much for free. Especially as I'm not planning on wasting money on this Animal Farm remake. I'm not gonna be surprised at all if they end up yanking that one from theaters at this rate, personally. So I'll definitely be open to who will give me another spin if I'm aiming for Toonami to start or one of these nights. Okay, so while Goats may not be as much of a court superstar as Sony's best animated films, it is still a worthy 3-point shot for your time. And even did manage to do decent numbers, I guess, due to the whole novelty of the dancing bear, or at the very least, he's the one who was trying to who be someone's point guard. So an easy 4 out of 5 or 3 out of 4. I mean, I thought I would talk about this because of Steph's other attempts to branch out into animation have been much more mixed. And I'm still contemplating how I'm going to cover them, as well as another animated work that I have conflicting feelings about. So, even after nearly 3 years on the air, that'll be all for now, and I'll see you all again soon. Take care.